Hey, Michael and Heather coming to you from what a country. We're in beautiful Phu Quoc. You can see the beach behind us. Weather has been very nice. This is late November. Um, Great time of year from here on out, probably till April or May. So great time to come if you've been thinking about it. Phu Quoc's kind of been going up the rankings of Asian islands here for a while. They're trying to turn it into an Italian and Greek village and a Venice village, and so it's really interesting. But we've actually enjoyed it, even though it's kind of surreal. But anyway, today's title is Travel Insurance That Works? Question mark. I don't know about you, but we've been burned by travel insurance. If you ever notice when you purchase it, if you actually read the terms, only a lawyer would understand it, and it would take you 20 or 30 minutes to read it, right? So there's so many carve-outs, exceptions, exclusions, and they're really not interested in insuring you. They will find any way they can not to pay you. So we've been burned by multiple companies. However, traveling without travel insurance, especially if you're a slow traveler or a full-time traveler, is a big mistake. Things happen. Planes get canceled, flights get canceled. You have problems with hotels, you have layover issues. There's just medical issues because if you travel longer than 30 days, typically your home insurance won't apply and Medicare won't apply at all. So you're going to need something. Now, if you purchase the insurance that the airline offers you or Airbnb offers you, that sort of thing, they're really expensive and they're not very good. So we finally found one, and we're going to put the link to this company down below. They actually have an annual plan. Now, annual is a little misleading because you can choose how long it goes for. It can be 3 months, 8 months, but typically it will cover a long trip or a long period of trips. And also, they're not asking you to tell them every place you're going. They just want where you're going to be mostly. And so it's very easy to fill out. Now, if you purchase this, and the name of the company is Travel Guard, if you purchase this policy within 15 days of having spent money that's non-refundable, right? So an actual deposit or an expense or a flight or a hotel reservation that's not cancelable, something like that. If you do that within 15 days of purchasing this policy, you will get an exclusion for pre-existing conditions. That's huge. We got turned down on a situation by another travel insurance company claiming it was a pre-existing condition, even though I had not seen a physician for a year and a half and was not on medication and hadn't been for months and months. So they're just looking for any reason to say no, knowing that you're not going to sue them for $500. You can't sue them for $500. And so that really soured us on the whole gig. However, Travel Guard will waive pre-existing condition if you purchase your policy very early on in your trip, within 2 weeks of an actual deposit. Now, what they're wanting to do is not have you purchase travel insurance the week before you go, knowing that you're sick, and then you're just trying to set them up, right? So they're trying to remove fraud by having you buy early in your trip. But Travel Guard now has paid us multiple claims. We've been using them for a couple of years. I would say we've been paid 5 or 6 times. One time as much as $3,300 for a hospital visit. So real money. And they've only turned us down on one claim, and that was because you only get a certain amount of certain kinds of claims during your period of coverage, and we had exceeded the number of those already. So they weren't denying the facts, it was just the basis of the policy. So we have found them to be really worth the money. Now, so they'll have 2 websites. They'll have a website where you'll go in to get a Travel Guard policy and get a quote for just a typical trip, okay? 30 days, 2 weeks. So you're going to want to Google annual policy Travel Guard, and there it drops you into a whole different kind of policy and a whole different price. And the price is actually can be quite good, especially if you're stretching it out over 8, 9, 10 months or more. And also note, so read the actual coverages. If you're focused on health insurance, which is what we are, we're really not that worried about missing a flight or something. We can handle that. But it's a medical emergency that we're worried about because neither one of our insurances cover us when we're out of the country for more than 30 days. And so there, look at the amount of money that Travel Guard is giving you towards medical expenses, and note that often they will allow you to purchase an additional amount of healthcare costs, coverage rather, for a relatively small amount of money. So check that out. Now, one way you can drive down the cost of your Travel Guard policy is to put your base expenses in very inexpensively. So I'll typically put in, each of us is spending $1,000 each. And that's going to cause them to drastically lower the deductible, the cost of the policy, because their coverages, some of them are based on those out-of-pocket expenses that you're claiming. Well, that's not the key for us. The key is the health insurance. So we put in a very small amount of money of out-of-pocket expenses for our travel, and then get a big chunk of money, I think it's $50,000 for medical. Huge way of doing it, and a way of reducing the cost. So focus on what you think your real needs are. If you're young, medical may not even be on your radar. So anyway, give that a go. Check out Travel Guard. I don't receive anything from them. They're not a sponsor. It's just the only travel insurance company that I have found that's honest enough to actually pay a legitimate claim. So anyway, as always, like and subscribe, and take care.